recipient we've already heard a little bit of, but there's plenty more. Sidney Stoller. Sidney Stoller has been involved in atomic energy since the late 1940s. He started as an engineering executive in the design of defense-related facilities for the government. After President Eisenhower opened the atomic world for peaceful uses in 1953, Mr. Stoller turned his attention to assisting utilities entering the nuclear power field. He founded the SM Stoller Corporation in 1959, and for the next 25 years, the company served in a consulting capacity to utilities representing approximately half of the U.S. nuclear power commitment, as well as serving a number of foreign utilities. Mr. Stoller has spoken often and most earnestly of the debt owed to CCNY for his education and for the life it has enabled him to have. In you, Sidney Stoller, your alma mater, has particular reason to rejoice.
Look out over this crowd. Who the trumpet? I've had a good life and there have been many memorable moments, but tonight has got to be right up there at the top. Certainly City College did its share in preparing me for a good life. I came here in 1939, and it was at that point a privilege to be able to go to college, even a free college. Most of our elder siblings had to go to work, and even if you were privileged, you had a responsibility. You had to work hard, you had to get through, you had to do good, you had to survive in a very tough intellectual competition with the students we had, and you had to go out and make your way in the world. In that early life, there really was no inspiration to think of the future. You know, you lived day to day. You went to school, you worked after school. There was no way you thought this far ahead, and there's no conceivable way that you could think out 70 years and imagine yourself standing where I'm standing. Now, Harold has mentioned ahead of me, and Harold and I have been friends and fraternity brothers for all those years. He mentioned this fraternity, and I want to say that despite the grind that City College represented, the 137 credits for a chemistry degree, many of them 1-hour labs, 4-hour labs, there was still time for some social work. And in 1941, a couple of professors decided we needed that, and they set up an engineering social fraternity, which Harold has mentioned. We've both been members of. It's a unique organization that for 70 years has maintained lifelong friendships, where we've sung lavender at every personal occasion. My friend Joe Adley used to see us get up and he'd say they were going to sing that damn Purple song. And we believe that that is probably beyond belief to have stayed that long. I'm sorry that our ranks have been thinning lately at an accelerated rate. And I'm sorry that today we're having a memorial service for one of our members, Joe Crane, a fellow I even went to high school with. But those friendships endure. We still have annual reunions. They're not as populated as they used to be. Now, when I went to City College and started my career, it took an exponential step. In 1946, I was working my first engineering job at a company called Foster Wheeler, and a beautiful, young, vibrant, black-haired girl came to work there. And the executive secretary, a tough cookie from Kentucky, who took Billy under her wing as a protege, decided to make a match. Because we're both beautiful, you know. But more than that, Fern Westerfield said to me in her own delicate way, she's a co-religionist. Well, in chemical engineering in those days, there weren't too many of us co-religionists. So we were an oddity. And as a tribute to my intelligence and my salesmanship, even at that early age, I persuaded that young beauty to be my wife. And for 60 some odd years, she's been my collaborator in life and my business, in all ways, large and small. And for that alone, I owe City College a great deal. And finally, at the risk of displacing a minute, I was given a minute to make this speech. And I told Don Joe it'll take me more than a minute to get to the damn podium. Especially seeing me at the end. But before I go, I think I want to thank one other person, and that's Mr. Townsend Harris, wherever he may be. Townsend Harris reminds us all, once again, as others have, one dedicated person with a noble idea, who's willing to fight for that idea, can absolutely change the world. Ms. Black said that there were 16 graduates in the first graduating class in 1853. Townsend Harris came here to be head of the Board of Education, and many of you know this story, in 1847, when New York City had 312,000 people, and 400 of them had a college education, and less than 7,000 had any education. And he decided that if New York City were to go anywhere, it needed an educated citizenry, and they couldn't all be children of the wealthy. So he got the idea of a free academy, which became the College of the City of New York. And for us, the many Townsend Harris medalists that have gone before us, and for the 170,000 graduates of the City College of New York, Mr. Harris, wherever you are, our gratitude and our thanks, and we salute you. Just before I leave, because I've already spent a minute and a half, Harold says I deserve 4 minutes because I got 4 tables. Before I leave, I want to congratulate all my fellow honorees. It's an honor to be up here with them, to join the group that's gone before us. Harold Shames, of course I thank him. Harold was one of the ones who put my name in nomination for this award. I also want to say that I'm so pleased that all the members of my family and my special friends could be here, and all of you could help me celebrate this great day. And finally, one of my granddaughters here today has a great day too. It's her 20th birthday for Rosie. Happy birthday.
Rosie!
One more time for Sidney Stoller.
Woo!